welcome back to my Mama Recap series, where today I'm going to talk about the performances. So I'm not going to talk about every single performance, but I'm going to just give my thoughts and opinions on certain performances that stood out to me at this year's Mamas. So let's get started with Suzy and Baekhyun. We finally got a live performance of the two together performing Dream. I feel like I've been waiting for this forever. Overall, it was a real simple performance, but I thought their interaction was really cute. One thing I wanted to point out though was the part where like Baekhyun kind of takes her hand and they walk together, because that part was just like so awkward. Like somebody on my Twitter timeline described it as them tapping fingertips, and I'm like, that's a perfect explanation. It was really weird. Moving on to Eric Nam and Timberland. So Eric Nam performed his new song that was produced by Timberland, Body, and okay, so the Body song was very catchy, but I thought the performance was kind of awkward. Like, you had Timberland in the back looking like he was ready to go take a nap at, you know, any moment's notice, and he was just like behind Eric with the DJ looking like, who am I, where am I, why am I? And they were legit just staring at him like move from side to side. It was just really weird. And also the thing is, like, to me, Eric is just like really cute and dorky, but this song was a bit sexy, so you were like getting body rolls and stuff from him and leg grasps and things. I was just like, oh, Eric, look at you. But at the end, he was really killing it. He was giving some like solid runs, and you know, he's fine, so it's all good. So moving on to NCT, Monsta X, and GOT7. So I'm not actually quite sure what order these performances went in, but I think from what I saw on Mnet, I think that Monsta X's performance of Fighter, NCT's performance of Fire Truck, and GOT7's performance of Hard Carry were all like intertwined somehow, and there was some plot with a briefcase. Like, NCT performed Fire Truck, and then Joohyun from Monsta X and Taeyong from NCT like did some rap together or something, and then there was like a briefcase, and then like Taeyong leaves, but then like Jackson and Yugyeom come and they dance with the briefcase, and then like Jackson steals the briefcase and like jumps down a hole, and then all of a sudden they're singing Hard Carry, and then like at the end of Hard Carry, like Jackson, he gets the briefcase back. Where was the briefcase during Hard Carry? Who knows? But then he finds like Taeyong and him and Joohyun meet up, and they're like, yo, what's up? And then he opens it and there's money, and I'm just like, what kind of Oscar-worthy plot? JK, I didn't know what the heck was going on. But yeah, I think they all had really nice performances. I saw a lot of people complaining that GOT7, they were more of a which, thinking about it, I was like, it's kind of hilarious, because GOT7 being only 2 years old, like they were a group that was formed in 2014. They were more on the veteran side out of everyone there, which is just, I feel like it's just a testament to the fact that K-pop, it's like having a seismic shift in terms of like, I don't know, generations or something, because the fact that a 2-year-old group is like one of the older groups, considered one of the older idols in that group, it's crazy. But yeah, since they're more of a veteran group, the fact that they only got to sing one of their songs and their stage was kind of plain. A lot of people were saying that Mnet did them dirty, and like, I agree. If we're just looking at it like from a who's older angle, they did kind of get jilted, but I also think it slightly had to do with which songs were super popular this year, because if you think about it, Taeyeon, she only got to perform Rain, and I think she was like the biggest sunbae there, but at the same time, Rain was her popular song of the year, or at least her most popular song of the year. But even with the fact that they only had a simple stage, them themselves did a really good job. I always forget how much of a bop Hard Carry is until I listen to it again, and I'm like, Hard Carry, And Junior, you can go ahead and marry me, because you're fine. So Taemin, Slayman, Bayman, whatever you want to call him, he did that. He did it. He was dancing, he was stripping, it was all in there, and it was lit. And the thing is, I didn't even realize it until like I went back to review the performance, but his performance was like less than 5 minutes. And it's just crazy because he utilized his time so well, because I feel like he fit so much into those 5 minutes. Like, he performed 3 songs, Guess Who, Soldier, and Goodbye, which I didn't even know there was a Korean version of that song. So, but like the dancing, the costume changes, the fact that, you know, it kind of told a story, because each each song is very, very different. I feel like his overall stage was just, the way it flowed was so good. And at the end when he was dancing during Goodbye with like those ribbons coming out of his armpit, it was so beautiful. Like Taemin is everything. Like, oh. My baby queens IOI also performed. So the thing is, I had heard there was going to be a collab stage between IOI and Twice. So I was really excited. But then when I found out it was just that VCR that they did before IOI's performance, I was like, bye Mnet, I'm done with you. Like what? That's not anything. Then IOI performed Pick Me Up, and like, can we all stop pretending like we don't love Pick Me Up? Like, it's not a guilty pleasure, it's just a pleasure. Like, y'all know you stand for that song, stop playing. But they were performing Pick Me Up, and then my favorite part of Pick Me Up is when they go dun 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 dun, that part. But then that part stops, and I was so angry until they went into this dope dance break. And let me talk about how like Minna was like, let me show y'all something real quick. Like, she was in the middle, she was killing it, and like the dance break was so dope. Literally IOI, queens of dance breaks, because their dance break at the Melon Awards was also really dope. But then they go into Very Very, which is like one of my favorite songs. So 17 and GFriend had this collab stage that like I was like random to me because I had no idea, but I just loved because it was like a really, really like traditional collab stage. Like they were actually really interacting, which I like super appreciated. It started off with like cute little interactions with them, and then it turned into like this whole musical kind of where they went back and forth between their songs. And the fact that it was a musical and kind of how it was set up, am I the only one who was reminded of in 2010 Mamas when 2NE1 did kind of a musical with like a medley of their songs? And then I was just like, oh no, the tears, like what? No. But it was really awesome because 17, they performed their new song Boom Boom, so we got like the first sneak peek of it, and it was awesome. Like, I'll be honest, I was only kind of so with the songs that 17 released this week. Like, my favorite song that they released was probably Check In, and that wasn't even like a real comeback. But this song seems like a lot more my style, which I'm excited about. But those outfits they were wearing, please burn those, please, thank you. And there was just a lot of crotch thrusting, so if that's your thing, there you are. And then the highlight of the performance when they both danced to Aju Nice, like that was so adorable. And like 17 and GFriend fit together so well. Like, it's weird, but it works. So Twice, my babes Twice, also performed, and I was dead at the fact like that intro where they said shy 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 like 439 times, and then they literally did like a chopped in screwed shy 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 remix and did a dance break to that. And I was like, what is this world? And the dance break was really, really dope, but the whole time I was like, what are these great grandmother church Christmas party outfits? They got to go, they're too bulky. But then I realized that it's one of those things where you like rip it off and you have a better outfit underneath. Taeyeon looked like so good. Like, every time she gets like a bit of weave, she be killing it, like for real. So EXO, like I said, I didn't watch this live, so I actually had to go back after, but I remember people were talking about EXO's performance on my timeline, and everyone kept saying they were performing Transformer. If y'all don't know, Transformer is actually a song off their last album, Exodus. So I was like, y'all are lying on me on this here today, stop it. But then when I went to go see the Mnet video and I saw it was Transformer plus Monster, I was like, how? This must be for me, like specifically for me, because I love that song. So like during the first part, they're doing Transformer. They are walking around strutting in these suits and these glowing chokers. By the way, does anyone know why only Kai's choker was green? Like, what was that about? Was that a thing? Speaking of Kai, like I occasionally forget how attractive he is, and then he has to remind me because he looked real good. So they performed Transformer. It was so dope. They did a little dance break, and Shu Min got the shine because he was in the middle and he was killing it. And then like my Prince Dio, he hit that bridge with the vocals, with the smooth butter chocolate vocals. Then they do Monster, but then right when you think it's over, King Beck comes through with the dance break of a lifetime. Baekhyun, he's low-key my new bias. Dio fans, don't look at me, Kai fans, listen, it's time for change. But like one of the things I love about him is that he's just so good at like everything, in my opinion, and I feel like he's grown so much as a dancer. So the fact that like he basically got to solidify that by getting his own dance break was like so freaking great. So let's take a time to talk about Bermuda Triangle, y'all. I love that song so much, and they performed it at the Mamas. So it started off with Dean emerging from the ground in this Neo the One Matrix cloak and his hair looking like a 99-cent Party City wig, but he had charisma. He was giving vocals. It was all good. And then Zico comes out, does his thing, and then finally you had Crush finishing the Holy Trinity by emerging from the ground in these knee-high Jordan Bond Strangle combat boots. It was great. He was passionate, and they just like that is like, when you see a performance like that, you just know it's so lit. Like, it just kind of took me back to seeing Crush at KCON, because he's just like this small, like one small guy, and he was owning the stage, and like I just really want to be there, because those are like three really good performers, and their music's always like my style. So such a good performance. So last but not least, they actually didn't go last, but that's what I'm talking about last. BTS had like this 12-part saga performance, and as a fan of them, I was like, yes, 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 yes. So it started off with Jungkook dangling from the sky like the angel he is. Rap Monster was doing some narration, and then it cuts into J-Hope giving us some solo choreo. I love him so much. Like, honestly, this whole Blood, Sweat, and Tears era has just made me realize I'm very much a J-Hope stan, okay? So I was like, oh, clearly I'm a J-Hope stan looking at this, because he shook me into making him my bias. Like, I was shookified, and then he became my bias. Then Jimin appears blindfolded, and he starts dancing to this version of Lie. I love watching Jimin dance. I love watching Jimin do anything, but dancing is one of those things. And then I was like, wow, the truth has been revealed. I'm actually a Jimin stan. And then they start dancing together, and like the whole time I was like, because it was the choreography from the Boy Meets Evil trailer that was released like in the beginning before they came out with Wings, and I love that choreo so much. And Jimin, he was doing it blindfolded, and I was like, how is this possible? If this was me, my skull would be cracked on the ground like right now, but he is doing it blindfolded, and it's great. And then I realized that there was the whole good versus evil thing, like that kind of like polarization thing, and I was like, oh, genius. And then I love how seamlessly it went from going from like this shot to Jimin for them going into Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Like, it flowed so freaking well. And then Suga hits me with his first line, and I'm like, my bias, Suga, wow, there he is right there. Then they segue into this scene where like V rips off his shirt. That's too dramatic. V slides off his shirt. He just slides it off a little. And he reveals like these like ripped out wings a la X-Men. Y'all ever seen that scene in X-Men? Where the guy's trying to cut off his wings? Just, I don't know, watch it. And then him and Jin have a little moment. And then suddenly I realized that my biases are Taejin. Like, who knew? So then it's time for Fire, and like in the beginning there are like these freaking guys in like bathroom robes, I don't know, and they're like doing some dance. I was like, are you guys BTS? No, let's get the BTS. And then like they come out and do Fire, and then finally I realized, mystery solved, all 7 of them are my biases. Look at that. No, but I really love their performances so much, and especially Fire, because at that point you could tell they were very tired, but they were also giving like 300%, which is what I love about them so freaking much. And then at the end, like these 9 Jillian dancers perform, like join them on stage and perform, which I thought was a bit superfluous. Like, I didn't see the need in that, but I guess it was cool. But yeah, overall that was kind of my feelings and thoughts of certain performances throughout the whole entire Mama. I'd love to know what were some of your favorite moments and your favorite performances. Let me know down below, and see you next time. Bye.